Welcome back. As I reported at the outset of the show, Sundance is no longer going on. No, really. It's really over. Finally. It was a good experience, though, don't you think? We always have fun here. It's a lot of hard work, and one of the things that always occurs to me is, I wonder what else is happening in town. I know there's a lot. I just don't have any idea what it is. This evening, we're going to give the chef a break. She is not going to be doing any mise en place. She is not going to be clarifying her consommé. We're simply going to rap out about what a top chef does during the Sundance Film Festival. Hear about Great Peeps' amazing multi-course meals from our friend and frequent contributor to the Mountain Morning Show, Chef Amanda Pilkington.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Good. Congratulations. You made it through. You're alive.
I'm alive.
How many Sundances is this for you?
Oh, this was my 4th?
Yeah.
Yes.
Best?
Yes, by far. Yes.
And have you, I mean, obviously we all sort of endeavor to progress in our careers at a time when things are really difficult, challenging, stressful. Do you feel like Sundance, is that kind of a thing for you that you can kind of look at sort of the barometer of what you did this year versus in years past?
Yes, I am completely stoked with what I did this year.
That's cool.
Especially under the time pressures. Like I got given 2 200-person parties 4 days before the actual event.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was nuts.
So heavy logistics of coming up with the menu, sourcing everything.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. And only 4 days. Now, is that typical?
I had more time for the 2 dinners, which were on Sunday and Monday. But to back up a little bit, I was the featured chef for Oculus, and I guess
That's
whoever
awesome.
had them the first 2 nights dropped out, and yeah,
Wow.
we pulled it off, and it went spectacular.
That's cool. Now,
Yeah.
how big of a crew will you have to make something super heavy labor intensive like that happen?
So I think next year I'll have more prep cooks. There was 4 of us pulling 15, 17-hour days for a good week or 2, and we had 9 or 10 servers, an event manager. It was a team effort for sure.
No doubt. And how do you come? Does somebody just pick up the phone and go, "Hey, we heard you're amazing, and we checked you out online, and we'd love to hire you"? Or is there more a sales process?
Well, I just got a call from a production company in LA, and they told me what they were after. So originally it was to be the featured chef for 2 multi-course dinner parties on Sunday and Monday. The theme was local sustainable foods. And I was thrilled because usually they bring in chefs from LA or New York. And
Sure.
It was an honor for them to use someone from Park City, I thought. It was very special.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
And do you have to, when that phone call comes, do you have to say yes right at that moment, or do you have to
yes.
You said yes, absolutely.
Well, that's my personality. I'll say yes to most things.
That's cool. And do you have to kind of go through a homework process to kind of get yourself to the point where you go, okay, I can do this with the budget that I have and still be able to make everybody whole, all these people that are working for me? Or
I have a great event manager. She does Taste of the Wasatch. She works with a lot of restaurants in town like Lizzie's, but she's a pro at this, so I had her helping me with the budgets and proposals. And yeah, I mean, that's a huge step. Like, you need to have your ducks in a row or else it won't go well.
yeah, it's easy to say yes, it's hard to deliver.
Yeah, so we pulled it off.
That's awesome. So tell us about the big night, and what's the format for that? When you got 200 people, is that plate served, or is that?
So the night 1, it was retro 80s ski theme, which was a lot of fun. And then night 2, it was mountain chic, Pendleton blankets, but the menus we had reflected the themes. So we did a lot of brainstorming. On night 1, we had things like tater tots with sriracha creme fraiche.
Nice.
What else? We did these roast beef roll-ups with horseradish cream and potato sticks. They look so cool. Night 2, we did Veuve Clicquot Jello bites.
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
They were really tasty, went over well.
That sounds like probably the best Jello ever.
And then people were just so excited to get hot food. Like they were like, oh my God, I haven't eaten something hot in 5 or 4 days or whatever.
Sure.
And, had awesome meatballs, and I don't know, we just kept it colorful though, but you know, good standbys. And
that's cool. So talk about because I'm always curious, when you get hired to do a party like this, depending on the location, obviously your environment, your cooking area isn't always going to be the same. Obviously, I jokingly point just off camera here. We've got our hot surface in our mobile chef's corner kitchen that you've rocked many times here on the morning show.
Yes.
But how do you, I suppose does that have to be a big part of figuring out how much you can do in advance and how much you're going to be able to stage and what you can or can't do in the facility?
So I always try to do as much as I can prep work from my own commercial kitchen, and then at the client's house I'm finishing everything off. I still want it to taste as fresh as possible, but yes, I've been in some bad kitchens and I've been in some amazing, gorgeous kitchens, and you never know what you're going to run into. So being prepared for the worst is the best case scenario.
No doubt. Tell us about this photo right here. Look, is that at the Oculus event?
Oh, I'm missing from it, but I had to give a speech the third and fourth night to everyone.
Oh yeah, how did that go? Public speaking.
Oh yeah, talking in front of the Black Eyed Peas and members of the Black Keys as well. Isn't that funny? Black Eyed Peas, Black Keys, they were both there.
No kidding.
But that was scary, yeah. For someone who doesn't really get out of the kitchen to talk in front of
it's a different deal, huh?
Yeah, a little nerve-wracking, but I did well.
That's good. I'm sure you did. And
yeah.
Like I say, you've been here many times, so even if we don't have a big crowd in the studio here, it's public speaking, right?
Yeah, I'm getting better.
That's good. So next up would be TED Talk.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's got to be
TED Talks, that's
a great topic.
Next up. Yeah.
So you had 2 nights of 200. You had 2 nights of MultiCourse. Tell me about the MultiCourse. That was oh yeah, there we go. There's plates being served.
Yes. So let's see. We did a ceviche to start with. Then we did a wild mushroom, homemade ricotta crostini. For the salad, I'm not sure. I wish it'd be really cool if they still showed that photo, but it was sous vide beets.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, it was gorgeous, and we spiralized them and had microgreens and watermelon, radish, pears. Oh, it was beautiful. And for the main course, they requested chicken. I was trying to push duck confit or lamb or something, but
I would have voted for duck confit just for the record.
They really wanted chicken, but it was a damn good chicken. You know, we brined it, gave it a lot of herbs, roasted it, did a parsnip mash.
Bone in?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, made a really nice red wine reduction, and then for dessert we had a thyme and lemon semifreddo.
And tell me what that is. I've heard that term before.
Semifreddo is like a semi-frozen dessert.
Gotcha.
Creamy, but it's got that light airiness to it, and oh, it's so delicious. I'll bring you some next time.
No, that sounds fantastic.
Yes.
Well, cool. So after you made it through those 4 nights in a row, big nights, then did you have any break? Were you going straight into more?
I had 1 night break, and then I had again large parties on Wednesday and then Friday, Saturday. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was a good week, or
no
10
kidding.
days.
And would you say that that's the most high quality food that you've ever turned out in 7 or 8 or 9 days time?
Yeah, I mean, on that scale, I mean.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about that, because I know that I mean, part of some of the work that you do is personal chef, where you're working in smaller environments. Do you do a lot of I don't want to say catering, that's maybe not the right word for it, but when you're putting food down in a timely fashion for 200 people, I mean, that's to me, just to think about it, if I have 4 people over to the house and I'm cooking, I'm freaking out.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it all comes down to prep and being prepared, and that's why we're working around the clock.
Yeah, sure.
And we were ready, and yeah, it just comes down to having your ducks in a row.
Yeah, and then do you have like a, I don't know, what's the right way to put it, kind of like a follow-on crew to break stuff down and to get rid of trash, or is your crew doing all of that?
My crew does everything.
So you guys you're not leaving until the place is
and I have a lot of awesome people working for me, and they come to my events all the time, so throughout ski season and the summer too. Yeah, I was so happy to use them all at once.
Yeah, I bet, and everybody's happy to be at a Class A
now
event.
Everybody wants to work together all the time. It's like, okay, maybe catering is the next step, or doing more grand, larger parties. And
do you have a kind of a taste or a opinion on that sort of thing? Like, do you prefer to cook in a smaller scale versus doing this kind of thing?
I like both. Just as long as I get to be innovative with the ingredients and the menu, I'm happy to do either.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's up next? Have you got a break? I know you're a traveler. Are you going traveling, or what's happening?
I'm booked again the next 4 nights, so
wow.
It's ski season, right? Even though we don't have that much snow, it's still really busy, and I'm so grateful for that.
That's awesome.
Sometimes I get worried, like, oh God, is it going to be an early season? But nope. It's good.
Well, I think people still come to town.
Yeah.
And if you're not able to, and eating and drinking kind of in some ways becomes relatively more important just for your enjoyment time.
Exactly.
So that's awesome. Well, what an interesting thing to think. I'm just thinking about like the different vibe of being in an environment like that where you have the same, well, we do live television, so we have a deadline, and when you're getting ready, it's
timing is very important.
Is everything.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I don't know how I pull this off, because I'll have 8 things going on at once, but I think that's where my ADD kind of thrives. I'm able to multitask and still get it to all come together at once, and I love it because my head gets to be in so many places at once.
Yeah. It's actually required of you during that time.
Yeah.
Well, it is a wonderful thing to be able to put your mind and your effort into something that makes total sense to you. And big congratulations for making it through.
Thank you.
So here's my parting question is kind of 2 parts, is anecdotes, like the funniest moment that you had, and also you mentioned the Black Keys and
Black Eyed Peas.
The Black Eyed Peas, I can't believe they've been out of pop music for over 2 minutes and not in my head anymore. And who else did you get to see or meet that was really neat and fascinating?
The lovely Ashley Judd.
Oh wow, no kidding.
Yeah, and I got to give soup to like the #2 guy on Facebook. That was exciting. Yeah, no, it was cool. Yeah, we did the soup. Oh, I have to tell you about the soup we did. So it was butternut squash and cashew. Fantastic. But we made sage marshmallows. We spent about 7 hours making marshmallows.
Wow.
And the idea is, well, we put the marshmallow in the center of the bowl, and then we torched it, and then you pour the super hot soup over it, and it just kind of like expands and becomes part of the soup, and it's creamy and a little sweet. Oh, that was probably one of my favorite dishes that we did.
That sounds fantastic. Well, I can totally see how squash sort of being somewhere in that continuum to pumpkin and to sweet potato or yams, which of course she traditionally put marshmallows on. So
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of sage. So, well, good. Well, we did have a screenshot of your website up, but let's do social media so folks can follow along, because your Instagram is killer cool and good.
Thank you.
And everyone should follow it.
ChefAmandaPilkington.com or Chef Amanda Pilkington.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Cool. And that's your handle on
Instagram, Facebook, my website.com.
That's cool. Are you a Snapchatter?
No, no. I'm not gonna go that far.
Me neither. I feel like
or Twitter. You got to draw the line somewhere.
It's true. You have to actually do things with your life, not just talk about doing things on social media.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming. Congratulations on making it through.
Thank you.
And yeah, let's make something cool next time you come.
Okay, I'll feed you.
Yes. Well, the other thing I was going to say is thank you in advance for feeding me, but also you have to give me jobs.
Jobs?
You have to give me prep jobs so that I'm not just standing around.
Okay. When I come
nothing.
on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So,
got it.
So if I have to prep here in the studio, I'm willing to do that.
I'll put you to work then.
All right then. Awesome. Amanda, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
And we will see you again soon.
Okay. Thank you.
ChefAmandaPilkington.com. If she made it through Sundance and crushed every one of those diners, including the #2 guy at Facebook, who I'm sure probably eats a lot of good food. So if he liked his soup, you will too. ChefAmandaPilkington.com. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. Sala's going to play some more music. We're going to wrap out with she and Edgar Campos, who is here visiting with us as well. And of course, the mighty Gabe Slatton. Stay tuned.